Hello, I come to talk to you about Jason and the red screen and how it's not really that great, folks. I thought that this was common info, but I asked on Twitter and some people didn't know it. Maybe many other people do know it, but just to get this out there, just to make sure it's out there. Let's talk about how it flips your buttons. So when Jason does red screen, forward becomes back, back becomes forward. Up is down, down is up. Right? Block is always the same, but it does change your buttons. So stand 1 becomes, this is stand 2. Oh, didn't mean to hit you. Stand 1 now is stand 2 again. Let's move you away so we don't hit you. Stand 1, okay, it's stand 2. It can also be the others. Hey, there you go. And then there you go. So it can be one of the 3 different buttons. However, once you know that it's one of the buttons, you also know what all of the other buttons are because there are only 3 set arrangements that the buttons come out in. Move away. 1 equals 3. Okay, 2 is 4, 3 is 1, 4 is 2. 1 equals 3. We just saw that. 1 equals 3. We just saw that again. 1 equals 4. 2 is 3. 3 is 2. 4 is 1. 1 equals... Okay, I'm trying to find 2 now. Wait, 1 equals 2. 2 equals 1. 3 equals 4. 4 equals 3. Now, that is admittedly tough to remember. And so you don't need to remember the entire thing. Instead, I think what I want to do as Kano is maybe find like back 2. Very far. Good button. I don't know. Certainly what I want to find is the 2 button, okay, as Kano, because 2 gives me knife, 2 gives me up ball. So I feel like once I know what the 2 button is, I can sort of play this game. I can be like, oh, I know what my back 2 is. That's it, right? So you're just looking for it. 1 equals, oh, now I already know, right? So forward 1 is going to give me back 2. I know that up to forward is going to give me up ball, and I know that up to back is going to give me knife. So now I can play, right? As Kano. But on top of that, it's also the case that let's turn this off for just a second. So Kano, as far as back forward special moves, when you do back forward all buttons, you come out with roll, because that's the only one like that. See this? Bam. Well, that remains the case during red screen. Turns into forward back, but that's about it. And so you know that. That's all. And EX remains the same. So it's just block. Red screen is not that dangerous. And there are certainly some situations where red screen is good. I don't want to paint it as being, in general, terrible. It's not. However, it's not that effective because a lot of the situations that you're going to land red screen in are, as Jason, you're far, right? You want to make sure that during your huge animation to start with, that you're not punished. And so you start it from far away. Or maybe you do some combo. I'm sure I'm going to screw this up. Hey, I didn't. Sweet. Alright, so you do it during some combo that lets you launch. However, now... Oh, I should have done that a little bit differently. As Kano in this situation, I'm just gonna start with holding up, which turns into crouching, and then press any button. And I should know what my other buttons are. There I held down 1, up 1, which turned into crouching 2. Now I know what my 2 button is, and I can play this game. That was a free test to see what it was. I really feel like that's all you need to do to play against Jason. For some characters, I'm sure it's different. For example, as Kotal, what I want to find, I think, is probably down 4. Very far, fast, low profiling move that Jason has a tough time dealing with. Maybe if I'm another character, I want to find something else. One last consideration is which buttons do you test with? As you're testing with stand buttons, you're only going to get stand buttons. It's not going to give you crouching buttons. If you're testing with crouching buttons, you're only going to get crouching buttons, not stand buttons. And not back buttons, and not forwards either. So you have to figure out for your character what's the safest set of options, the least laggy set of options. As Kano, maybe I don't want to do stand, because maybe I come out with stand 2, which is a little bit slower. Maybe I want to do his much faster down 2, right? Just for safety's sake. And certainly I don't want to test with back button, because that gives me a huge back 2. And maybe that's, again, that's what I want in this case, but maybe that's not what I want with some other character. So just figure out what's like the safest option. Maybe it's even jump for your character. You know, you just sort of do, as you're waking up, you hold down forward, which turns into up back, and then you test, and now you know. That's it. It's really not that tough to deal with. And once you know it, I feel like red screen should not be that dangerous. And Jason, who is not a good character already, I feel like is unfortunately asked out more than he probably should be.